So today I just want to sit down and talk about the 1980s because unfortunately I wasn't born in the 1980s. I was actually born in the late 1990s, but I just heard a lot of good things come out of the 1980s that I really wish I was a part of. Like I wish I had the opportunity to like build a time machine, go back in time and just experience 1980 all the way up until 1990 just to see how the vibe was around that era. Because you had movies that were classics like Breakfast Club come out, 16 Candles, and I can only imagine you had people after their class at school, they're like, okay, let's meet up at around a certain time and go watch Breakfast Club. I heard it just came out today. And you also had those horror movies that came out around that time when it came to slashers that were a big hit around that era, like Friday the 13th, and also the Halloween sequels that came out around that time. And when Nightmare on Elm Street came out in 1984, just getting your whole family together just to see a horror movie at like 7 or 8 at night probably would have been a really fun experience. Or just going to a gas station or whatever they had arcade systems around that time, probably an arcade, and being able to play this original Super Mario Bros. At the arcade, or the Donkey Kong game at the arcade for the first time, where you're putting your quarters in and you're just spending your whole day playing that game with a joystick and the little buttons that you press on the machine. I just feel like, just looking back at that and just thinking about it, it would have been such an awesome experience. Like, I really wish I had the opportunity to experience all of that. But thankfully, I was able to actually experience some of that stuff that came out of that era today, because it's still around. Like, you could still go online and look up a lot of the music that came out in the 1980s. Yeah, it might not be the same experience hearing it for the first time on the radio or wherever you were when that song first came out. Like if you heard Africa or Take on Me or Never Gonna Give You Up, but it still gives you the opportunity to go back and listen to those songs. Like you're imagining yourself inside like a little dance club where you're with a couple friends, or you're with your girlfriend or boyfriend or whoever you are, and you're just dancing and having a fun time. And obviously you have the movies out there on like streaming services, or you could watch them again, and you could play practically any video game online that came out around that era. And now it's on the modern console, so all you really have to do is just download it. So I was still able to experience it. It's just not the same feeling. Like I just wish I was able to go back to like that era where it's like all the modern technology you see right now, like this computer, like my iPhone, like this flat screen TV I have. All of this, modern technology wasn't around. Just going back to square one, going back to like those big phones, or going to those phones where you had to like dial the number back and forth in order to reach somebody so you can like give them a call and talk to them throughout the day, or just meeting somebody next door if you wanted to hang out as friends and go watch a movie or go out to eat or do whatever. It's just that whole old school feel I just really wish I had the opportunity to experience. And I just love the 1980s for that. It just looked like it was just a very fun era to be in, especially from what you see in the movies and TV shows that came out around that time period. It just looked like a very fun place to be around that time. And at least you have movies and TV shows to look back at, so it kind of can give you a good idea of like how it was around that time. But I also have, family that I can talk about when it came to how things were around that time, because, my mother was able to grow up in the 1980s. Same thing with my aunt, same thing with my grandma, my grandpa, and other relatives I had, where I can talk about, oh, hey, what happened around that time? Can you share a story with me? Because it's just really interesting to see how things operated in that time period, because things are like a lot different now. You have cell phones and you have all these technology now where people don't really care about just going outside and having fun. They'd rather just be on their phone, or for the sake of this video, of course, recording a video and posting it on YouTube. It would just be nice to actually like wake up one morning and just experience like how things were around that time period for once. Have that little change just to see how things are compared to now, because it's just a huge difference. Because obviously, over time civilization evolves, so not everything from 1980 is going to be the exact same way it is in 2024. It's just old school. That's the whole message I'm trying to get across in this video. It's just old school. That's what I love about the 1980s. It just has that old school classic feel to it. So whenever I want to like picture of what happened around that time, I can go and watch ET, see how things were around that time period. I can go and watch Back to the Future, which is one of my favorite movies. All three of them, love them. I can go and see how things were around that area. Obviously, you know, you go back and forth in that movie, but you get what I'm trying to say. You know, there's just going back to that era, so you could feel like you're in that era watching those movies when they originally came out, or listening to those songs when they originally came out, or playing those games on the arcade machine and just spending every last quarter that you have, instead of just picking up a remote controller at home and just spending 6 to 8 hours playing through a game and then eventually beating it and then moving on to the next one. It's just a whole classic feel. It would just be really nice to experience. And I'm really curious to see if there's like anybody out there that were able to actually grow up in the 1980s. You guys have any stories that you want to share with me, or just, you know, things that you want to tell me that was there around that time that I might have not speak of in this video? Just let me know all your thoughts in the comments. I would definitely love to hear what all of you guys have to say, because again, I'm a big fan of the 1980s. I just love the vibe. I really rock with it. And I would just love to see if there's other people out there that feel the same way, or had the chance to experience it themselves. So let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. And also make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content on this video, because me as a person, you know, I'm just sitting down, I'm just expressing myself. You know, these videos aren't really scripted. It's just me being me, just letting all my thoughts out as I'm talking throughout this video. So everything that's coming out of my mouth right now is coming out the way it is naturally. And that's just the kind of vibe that I want you guys to have of me throughout this channel. And I'm just going to be having a lot of fun, just talking about various things I love, you know, sharing memorable experiences with you, or just doing a lot of special things on the channel. And if you guys rock with that and you guys want to see more of that, make sure to subscribe on the channel. I really do appreciate all you guys' support. We are almost at 30 subscribers, and it's going to be really awesome to hit that milestone. And I know we will eventually, and it doesn't really matter if it takes some time to get there, but I just really appreciate the support from you guys. Like, honestly, when it all comes down to it, I just really appreciate you guys being there, because every one comment that you guys leave in my video, or every one like, whatever the case may be, just getting like a simple hi, how you doing, means a lot to me. So again, thank you guys for all the support, and I love you guys so much. And make sure to follow me on my Twitter and my Instagram, because that's usually where I'm active the most. So hypothetically, if I'm not posting content on this channel one day, you guys can reach me out there so you guys know what I'm doing outside of the YouTube space. So I hope all the guys are having a fantastic day, wherever you guys may be, if it's daytime, the nighttime, or the evening. And I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, peace out.